Well, I'm now in Narita Airport. I'm just standing outside just to feel the cold. It's not too bad. It's pretty mild. It's roughly 13 degrees. We'll actually be taking a train, not the bus. I'm just walking around here. So welcome to the Japan series. So welcome to part 2 of the Japan series, and in this video we will be covering Tokyo as well as Nikko. So we'll be in Tokyo for 4 days and we'll be doing quite a number of things. Tokyo is a relatively big and dense city, so there are quite a number of things that we can go about doing. So let's move to the hotel through the Keisai Skyline train. So now I'm in Asakusa, and that's the Sensoji Temple. It's very hectic to navigate around here, as there are plenty of it's quite an intricate and a very complicated city to walk around in, especially with luggages and whatnot. And we are finally arriving at our hotel, and today I'll just maybe take a short walk around, as it's only 4 PM but the sun sets early here in winter. Yeah, the streets have been really crowded, and that train just now was just really crowded and complicated to move around. We're glad that we have found our way around. Okay, so currently I'm in my hotel room. This is the view from the outside, and currently the sun is setting. Yeah, it's a pretty good view. In front of us is the Sensoji Temple, which is what Asakusa is famous for, and what you always hear about from Tokyo. Yeah, that was quite a hectic trip to get here. Yeah, let me show you a bit of the room. Let me close this first. So it's a 2-bedroom, so this is the first bedroom. It's pretty spacious for Tokyo. It's like a mini Airbnb, very typical small toilet. Okay, I guess that's it for today, and I'll see you tomorrow. Good morning, and it's a lot colder today. It's 7 degrees today. And it's currently about 8 AM. It's kind of misty and cloudy. There's a possibility that it may rain today. Hopefully it does not. I'm also meeting some students that will be coming over to my school next year for an exchange, just to discuss a project. So today is a relatively chill and relaxed day. Well, I'm not sure why the audio for this portion of the video was quite unclear, so I should take over with the voiceover. If I do get a bit unclear or incoherent throughout the video, I do apologize in advance, as I'm using a new camera to vlog and the audio may be a little bit muffled at times. So this is the Sensoji Temple in Asakusa, and it's one of the largest attractions in Asakusa, or in fact the largest, and this can be compared to the Buddha Tooth Relic Temple in Singapore, as I feel that it has a stark similarity in terms of its designs and the surrounding areas. Later on you'll see some shops lined out around the temple compounds that sell some sort of Japanese snacks. And the whole vibe of the area really reminds me of the Buddha Tooth Relic Temple in Chinatown here in Singapore. But what's really different is that there's really a peaceful vibe as you walk around the gardens and the temple. It's best to avoid the peak hours and come earlier in the morning, as it can get quite crowded with a lot of tourists. And the Sensoji Temple is actually the oldest Buddhist temple in Japan, and is the most visited temple in the world actually. Well, as you may know, there are many sects of Buddhism, which I will not go into detail, and this temple is associated with the Tendai sect of Buddhism. Personally, I'm not too familiar with it, so if you do know more, you can comment down below. Some shops along the temple. So currently I'm in Sumida Park. It feels pretty cold here. And that's the Tokyo Sky Tree, which I stayed at in the past actually. So now we're going to a park, so we're taking the metro, and I see a GoPro advertisement over here, and that's my camera, the Hero 12. Coincidental. So this is the Ginza line, which starts in Asakusa and ends in Ginza. And it's one of the most used lines here in Tokyo, as it connects to Shibuya, which is that famous crossing. Ground level think it's the train that we'll be taking, the Yamaguchi line. You will see here that's how complicated the Tokyo train map is. Number of colors, number of lines. It's crazy. Now we're walking to the park. This is the park. This is a cafe by the lake itself. So this is a tea set that you can order. It's just 2 bowls of matcha together with, I think, some sort of dessert like a mochi that faces the lake over here. This is another portion of the park. There are quite a number of scenic areas in the park to just relax and sit down. It's always a very peaceful place to be. And there aren't that many tourists here. It's quite quiet as compared to the Sensuji temple that we were at just now. And I'm now reaching my hotel once again. It's been a relatively eventful day, and tomorrow will be even more eventful. So I shall end it for today and see you tomorrow. And today is a hot winter day in Tokyo. It will hit about 20 degrees later on in the day. And today we are going to Nikko, which is in, I can't pronounce the name, it's a different prefecture, and it's in the central of Japan. And it will be a 2-hour train from Asakusa over here that will be taken out there. And since it's in the mountains, it will be significantly colder, and tomorrow it may hit 0 degrees actually. So now we're going to walk to the train station to board a 2-hour limited express train to Nikko. Here's our train on the left side. What's unique about this place is that the platform is actually curved, as you can see. And ours is the first cabin over here, and we've arrived. Feels like a plane over here. Seat number 6. A and B. Alright.
Thank you very much for riding the Tobin line today. This train is the Limited Express Spacia Keigon number 15, train 4, Toba Nikko. This train will be arriving. まもなく終点東武日光に到着をいたします。お出口左側です。列車内にお忘れ物なさいませんようご注意ください。
Now we're here. It's not too cold. It's about 14 degrees. Compared to Tokyo, it's a bit colder. But tomorrow is where it will really get much colder tomorrow. So now we're going to check into our hotel and just have a walk around. And this is actually the Nikko Station Hotel Classic, which is only 3 minutes from the station. And later on, I'll give you a room tour. And yeah, the main highlight of Nikko would be the mountains as well as the UNESCO heritage temples around this area, and that's where we'll be taking you to explore. And now we're taking the World Heritage bus that goes around the different temples in the area. There are actually UNESCO heritage sites. This is a lot like the Sensoji temple in Asakusa, relatively similar. So this entire area is a UNESCO heritage site, comprising of many different temples. It's actually a 1636 shrine complex. Now we're entering the next temple through this shrine. So the purpose of this shrine is to honor the first shogun, and it was built in the 17th century and has been preserved ever since. Pretty steep steps. To go in you must pay, so we got this ticket here. Oops, upside down. Yeah. When you think of a medieval palace in Japan, this really fits the idea of that. It has really withstood the test of time since the 17th century, and now we're here to witness it. And these Shinto shrines have a history of being, in a way, indestructible. One example can be during the atomic bombing, where the shrines in Hiroshima managed to withstand the force of the atomic bomb. You will see two statues or deities along the side of these sort of shrines. They're typically guardians of the shrine itself or the area itself. I believe the shogun is buried somewhere around here. Probably somewhere under one of these structures here. A lot of stairs here. And we have finally reached the top. There's a whole lot of stairs. So earlier, as I mentioned, the shogun will come here to pray all the time. And in fact, he's actually buried beneath this pagoda structure. Here's some more information about the shogun. So this is how it looks like, and he's the first shogun of Japan, and he's buried right here. So he is quite an important person, being the founder of the Tokugawa shogunate. The shogun is basically like a military leader of Japan, and the Tokugawa shogunate ruled till the Meiji Restoration, which was in the 17th century. The 17th century was also when he passed away, and he has been buried here ever since then. And also, to access this shrine, you need to purchase a ticket to get to the top, as this is the highest shrine in the temple complex. And lastly, you can purchase some souvenirs to take home as well. Now we're on our way down, back to more shrines. There's so many autumn trees over here. As we pass the peak of autumn and the temperature gradually becomes colder. Here's one of the other landmarks, which is a red bridge. It's called the Shinkyo Bridge. I'm not sure. I'm honestly not sure what the significance behind this bridge is. It is a UNESCO World Heritage Site for some reason. A true picturesque spot over here. It's a small little gift shop with a restaurant here, a soba restaurant, and it's a traditional tatami seating. So this is like a duck soba soup, and we have the tempura over there, and all this for under 40 Singapore dollars. As you can see, it is going to rain very heavily, and there's a gale warning, which is like some sort of strong wind warning, and yeah, so the weather is going to be a bit erratic. Now I'm walking over to my hotel, and I'll show you how the room looks like. And now it's about 3 o'clock, so now we can actually check in, and I'll give you a quick room tour. So this is the room here. There's this toilet here, which is pretty small. Then 3 single beds. We added one more extra. It's pretty small and somewhat basic, but we have quite a beautiful view over here. Good for maybe some time lapse. I'll put a camera out here. Now I will be taking you outside just to have a short walk around. I just happened to find this little red bridge that feels kind of scary to walk on, and it takes us to the other side of the town. Maybe not the town, but it just takes us across the railway. And this year just to get a better look at how it looks kind of unstable. From here you have a good view of whatever's going on up there. I can literally feel the wind. I can literally feel the wind just pushing me here, and I can sort of feel the bridge swaying a little. So I should get down from here. Okay. Alright, so I guess I'll end the video for today. So I'll see you tomorrow where we'll be heading on that cable car as well as the Lake Chuzenji. Alright, see you tomorrow. Now we're in the bus going up to the ropeway, and I shall use this opportunity to show you the Nikko pass. So this is how it looks like. So whenever you go up, when you board the train, you board this pass, you just have to show them this pass and you can go in, because it's all included in the pass. For context, this is how windy the road looks like. It's this yellow pathway over here before we reach destination over here. Okay, yeah, that's bad. There was a gale warning yesterday, very strong winds basically, so they could have cancelled it because of that. You can see the mountain ranges extending in the distance over there. I guess we'll just have to, the bus is here. Yeah, we'll just be going back to the lake. It's only about a 10-minute bus ride from the cable car to the the ferry terminal. And then from there we'll be taking a cruise around and just be walking around the area. Now we are at the Lake Chuzenji and the wind is incredibly strong. Unfortunately, the lake cruise has been cancelled due to the winds. So the winds, there was a gale advisory yesterday and it extends into today. And yes, we have felt the brunt of it. Okay, so now we're at the Chuzenji Onsen bus stop, and guess what? It's snowing over here. Okay, completely unexpected, but yeah, first snow of the season over here. It's a little bit heavy. I guess that makes it worth it for all the time spent coming here. So now we're going to this place called some sort of waterfall. Let me see what it's called. It's called the it's a Keegan Falls. And here we have the waterfall. Pretty deep. So you can actually get a ticket, purchase a ticket to take an elevator down. I guess you can just come here and take a look at it from here to save time and save money as well. Okay, so this is a restaurant and a gift shop together. A lot of things that you can buy here. Okay, so we had like a quick lunch at a soba restaurant and now we're heading back towards the hotel. I'll just film along the way and show you parts of the bus ride because it shows a different part of the mountain as well. Then afterwards, we're just looking for dinner around the area. And tomorrow we'll be going back to Tokyo on the Limited Express where I'll be showing you the new cabin. Our train's already departing in about 35 minutes time. So most people will be here for the same train. And in Nikko you actually have quite a number of luxury resorts. Here you have a hotel by Marriott. You also have the Ritz-Carlton. All these resorts are near Lake Chuzenji, which we were at yesterday. And over here these are called Aki brands, and in Japan you can eat on the train, so people will buy these bento sets and they'll just hand it on the train here. It can be pretty pricey and it can be as cheap as around $5 and it goes up to about $30 for this train set over here. You can see the cabin here, so you can actually reserve these two seats for if you're traveling in threes or fours and individually or a couple as well. I really love the design and how open it is here.
Welcome aboard the Spacia X, number 2, Limited Express bound for Asakusa. We will be stopping at Shibuimaichi, Shinkanuma, Tochigi, Kasukabe, Kitasenju, Tokyo Skytree, and the Asakusa Terminal.
いただきます。ご興味のある方、どうぞご利用ください。本日はご利用ありがとうございます。次はShibuimaichiです。
When it comes to the variety of what they have on the cafe menu, I would say it's rather limited. It's limited, but it's sufficient for this sort of train trip because you won't want to be eating too much. So I suggest that you get a snack from the Lawson or some convenience store. So basically, what I ordered was a non-alcoholic, like a craft coke. They said it was spicy, so I'm not sure what they mean by that. I'm just gonna try it first. And after about 1.5 hours, we're finally reaching Asakusa Station. So now we'll be taking the Toei Asakusa line to Daimon, to our new hotel, where we'll be spending one night there. All in all, that was a really pleasant ride. It didn't feel like 1.5 or 2 hours. It was really very comfortable. And it really sped up the length of the journey. It didn't really feel that long, and it was rather comfortable as well. Okay, I'm currently in a restaurant called Sushiro, and we actually have a branch like this in Singapore, and it's pretty much exactly the same. I should do a cost comparison. Maybe I can show you how it looks like, the way you order and everything, except that everything is self-service here. They even tell you where to sit, and then you order from this iPad. As you can see, the food travels on this belt, and then it'll go through this express lane where you collect it over here. And even drinks also. And on the conveyor belt, you can just take and pick whatever you want to. But recently there was an act of sushi terrorism, which resulted in them removing the traditional conveyor belt sushi. That's why now you can only order through this upper level here via the iPad. And it was a scenario. There was some incident that happened last year where some teenagers started contaminating all the sushi on the conveyor belt, and that resulted in some lawsuit, and they removed it all. And this sushi bag, like this. I just finished my meal and happy to see the Shinkansen over there. So that can also take us to Hokkaido, but we're going to take the plane, as that takes around 4 to about 5 hours to get there. So tomorrow we'll be flying up there. So the entire meal where we ordered almost 40 items amounted to 118,000 yen, which is about 107 Singapore dollars. And it's incredibly worth it. We have Sushiro in Singapore, but the pricing is at least thrice the amount that we had here. So now we're going to be walking around Ginza, which is comparable to the Orchard Road, Singapore. It's kind of like the main shopping street of Tokyo. So, like many shopping streets of the world, they have all the famous brands over here, and they occupy huge stores around Ginza. Around here, you also have plenty of restaurants, cafes and whatnot alongside all these shopping streets. As this video slowly comes to a close and this part of the series comes to a close, I shall slowly conclude this video. This video in particular may seem a bit lengthier as there was really a lot of content to cover, so I really tried to be a lot more concise about everything in this video. So as you can see, Tokyo is really a very complicated city as a whole, and you really need something to help you navigate around, and that will be Google Maps. That was really helpful in navigating around. And in this video, I mainly showed the less touristy areas. If you did see, I didn't really visit Tokyo Disneyland as well as the Tsukiji market. So most of the areas that I would have visited, except for the Asakusa temple, seem to be a lot quieter and away from all those tourists. Well, I really wanted to provide a more to show you a side of Tokyo that's in a way quieter and away from all those tourist areas. In the past, I have visited those areas like the Tsukiji market, Toyosu market, and all that. Those are definitely worth a visit, but I didn't manage to visit them in this trip. Especially if you're a first timer to Tokyo, you should definitely visit all those sites before you go on to explore all those quieter and lesser known areas. Also, when you're traveling around Tokyo, it is extremely important to get a Suica or Kitaka card. And this is their metro card and makes it a lot easier to travel around, as you can just top up the card at any station and just use it to travel around like any other metro card in most parts of the world. Once again, Google Maps is really your best friend here. It is really helpful in navigating around, as Tokyo is really one of the most complicated cities that I have been to. One thing that I feel that isn't really mentioned about in Tokyo are the lack of lifts and elevators. In most subway stations, there are mainly staircases, so if you're pulling any suitcases, it's going to be a pain, as you're going to have to drag it up the stairs, like I faced a few times. I didn't really show that in the video, but yeah, so it's better to carry on haversacks or really just to pack light, as the metros can be pretty crowded during the rush hour, where there are a lot of commuters as well. And you can just simply wash your clothes when you are in Tokyo instead of carrying a lot of them at once, to really save space and make it a lot more efficient to travel around. When it comes to things to do in Tokyo, there are a million things to do. There are just so many things to do that I really wanted to cover, which I didn't manage to do. Like the Tsukiji market, there's a fishing restaurant called Sao in Shibuya, and there's so many things to cover. One video isn't enough to cover it, and you really just have to be there to experience it for yourself. All in all, I really hope that you really enjoyed this video, and I hope that you found it enjoyable and maybe meaningful at some points. And do stay tuned for part 3 on Hokkaido, as we really transit from autumn to winter. So I shall see you in the next one.